Hello everybody, my name is Mr. Gooseduck9 and welcome to the Doki series. This has been a long time coming and I'm finally in the right headspace and I finally found motivation to edit it. So I hope you enjoy the series. It's no doubt one of my best series ever, and but the first part, the one that you're about to see right now, is fucking scuffed as fuck. The audio is loud and I don't even think you can hear me at some parts, so I apologize for that, but the audio does get better in following part 1. So yeah, forgive me for that. Sorry, I didn't see chat. I'm a good streamer. I hope you guys enjoy the stream or video. Thank you.
This game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. Gotcha. Individuals suffering from anxiety or depression may not have a positive experience playing this game. Oh boy, I like this. Would you like to review detailed content warnings which contain spoilers? Alternatively, in-game content warnings can be enabled in the settings menu at any time. No! By playing Doki Literature, you agree that you know that the game's age rating and your age sensitive exposure highly disturbing content. I agree. That's very concerning. I don't like that. This game is not suitable for children or those who are easily disturbed. Wow. Okay. Cool. Hello everybody, my name is Mr. Gooseduck9 and welcome to Doki Literature Club. I am Sick Boy and I am streaming this. I finally got around to streaming it because my setup is complete. I got 2 monitors, a microphone, a camera, and me. I'm back once again to do this. Say hi, chat. Say hi, YouTube. One person's gonna say that. Doki Literature Club, huh? I have not seen anything about this game. I just saw it on Steam and I was like, hey, I've heard of this game before. I'm gonna play it. So why not? Alright, where's my mouse at? Okay, it's right there. New game. Enter my name. Should I enter my real name or Gooseduck? I'll just do Gooseduck. No, I already know. Oh, I can't go that far. Say hi, YouTube, not hi, chat. You are chat. Where's my mouse at? Okay, let's get this started. Okay. Hey! I see an annoying girl running towards me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. That girl is Sayori, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waking up. Hold up! I gotta change my tags. Gotta change my stream tags. I was thinking about that while I was using the bathroom and I just didn't do it. Alright, update. My settings have been updated. Alright, let's go. Turn. But if she's going to chase me after me like this, it's almost better off running away. However, I just saw an island from the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up with me. Ah! I overslept again, but I caught you this time. Maybe. But only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say that like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Gooseduck. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want to think that we're a couple or something. fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have it in you to be mean even if you wanted to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Goose-Duck, have you decided on a club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm not really interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did, in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's going on about. So Sayori likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just by getting on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. Too true! This game knows too much! I was talking about how I'm worried that you won't learn how to socialize or have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know? And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. This is hitting too close to home. Can I stop now? Trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. Will you at least promise me you'll try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay. Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, even if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. The school day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I already know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I have no choice but to start with the anime club. Oh boy! Hello, Sayori. Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize that I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw you just sitting there spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You don't need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late for your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, know what? Well, that you could come to my club. Sayori, yeah. There's no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Not that I was ever aware that she had any interest in literature. In fact, I'm 99% sure she only did it because she thought it would be fun to help us start a new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after the one who proposed the club, she inherited the title vice president. I like this so far. That said, my interest in literature is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please! She didn't say that, but I exaggerated. Why do you care so much anyway? Well, I kind of told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member, and that Suki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead, or if she's so cunning as to have planned all this out. I let out a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yay. Let's go. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I would do the same. I dejectedly followed Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. I'm not dyslexic, I swear. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. Yeah, I glanced around the room. Girl 1, welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Goose-Duck, what a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. ... All the words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. I can agree. I love women. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki. The girl with a sour attitude whose name is apparently Natsuki is one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. She was also the one who made cupcakes, according to Sayori. You can just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, then turns back towards the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica, is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Gooseduck. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic, nice. Basically, completely out of my league. I can agree with that. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little... Yeah, you too, Monica. Oh god, I'm such a virgin. Come sit down, Gooseduck. We made room for you at the table so you can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I get a little too excited. Then how about I make some tea as well? Tea? I fucking love tea. You didn't have to ask. I'm joining the fucking club. Sorry about that. The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. As Sayori mentioned, it's been widened so that there is one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray to reveal a dozen white fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. I want to see them. Fourth period now, yes! The whiskers are drawn with icing and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know, just hurry and take one. Sarah grabs the first one, then Monica, I follow. It's delicious! Sarah walks with her mouth full and already has managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers, looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like haven't I heard this somewhere before? Made them for you or anything. I thought you technically did, Sayori said. Well, maybe, but not for, you, dummy. All right. I gave up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismissed the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying a tea set. Tea? I love tea. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the tea pot next to the cupcake tray. Ooh, owie, my stomach is hurting. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? Yes it does, Yuri. I apologize. I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. Well, as soon as she said tea, she already did, so I don't know about that one. That's not. Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me. This is an imposter! This ain't me! Who is this? But I at least enjoy tea, okay? I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. So what made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy here, so that's okay, don't be embarrassed. We'll make sure you'll feel right at home, okay? As president of the literature club, it is my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone! Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could probably be a board member for any of the major clubs. the debate club last year? Well, you know, to be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. Feels like nothing but arguing around the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get into literature, then I am fulfilling that dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri also nods in agreement. And I'm surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the efforts to start something brand new. Especially when it's something that doesn't grab your attention, like literature. Something just came up there, holy fuck. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we all really grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah, we all do our best. You know it. Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I still don't really know if I can keep up with their level of enthusiasm about literature. So, Goose Duck, what kinds of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga, I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki head suddenly perks up. Looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. That's pretty ironic considering I got a bunch of JoJo mangas back there. Moving on. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. I'm about to make one of those. And telling a good story in such a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Yes! Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasped at something I could relate to at the minimal level. Good on ya. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. I am a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you can say that. But if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world. If only for a brief moment. I think this is foreshadowing something. Ugh, I hate horror. Oh, why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? Nani? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud, and give that back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori slides up behind Natsuki and puts her hands on his shoulders. I am not cute. Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that little writing takes more than just confidence. Considering I'm a writer myself, I just put them out there and don't care. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up to your readers, expose exposing your vulnerabilities and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. You have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Question mark. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. Then next time we meet, we all share them with each other. That way, everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it'll help us get a little bit more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Gustav? Monica smiles warmly at me once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we're back in the original topic of me joining the club, I bluntly come forth with what's been on my mind the entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made any decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But, I'm sorry, I thought, Gustav, you all, I'm defenseless against these girls. I would be too if I was in your situation, bro. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls, right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. Uh-oh. I'm ready for this next frame. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey, you really did scare me for a moment. If you really just came in for the cupcakes, I would be super pissed. Then that makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Okay, everyone. I think with that we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks over at me once more. Gustav, I look forward to seeing you. To seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Gustav, since we're already here, do you want to walk home together? That's right, Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she's always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay. Oh god. With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Okay. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course, Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in a literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. I think that means something. Okay, I choose Yuri. Alright. I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure good fortune will find me. But I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Do I actually have to write a poem? Oh god, it's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Okay. Secretive, uncanny, aura, sunset, misfortune, heart, shopping, dream, prayer, hope. Okay. Tenacious. Depression, yes. Incongruent. Climax depth. Imagination. Lightning friends alone. Sunny sparkle daydream amazing. Massacre. Rain cloud portrait vibrates hands blood precious vitality. Extreme. Proof. Melancholy bubbles adventure. Fantasy. Papa lucky eternity various pleasure sensation. Question. Pure after image, embrace sadness, fluffy, unending inferno. Destiny, bouncy, joy, nature, uncontrollable, free, lollipop, landscape, anime, bunny, twirl, milk, anger, jump, anger, excitement, playful, vivid. Comfort, kitty, lipstick, special whirlwind, side feather, entropy. Fear, marriage, handy cute, peaceful tragedy, rose, ambient journey, sing, vertigo, vertigo. Verse, disaster, jumpy heartbeat, intellectual. Captive, gorgeous, unrestrained, lazy memories, no set promise. Philosophy, nightgown, kawaii. Her face, swimsuit, covered flower, just on holiday, raindrops. Okay, I've got most of hers, so hopefully you'll be good. Hi again, Goose Duck. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Ha ha ha. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I keep my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Goose Duck. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on, like you deserve any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come here and hang out or what. But if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you certainly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the club room. Ooh! Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Swiftly defeated, Natsuki flops back in her seat. Don't worry, guys. Goose Duck always gives it his best as long as he's having fun. He helps me with busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable! Sayori, that's because your room is so messy, it's distracting. You almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little bit jealous. Alright. How come you and Goose Duck can be good friends too? Sayori. As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Yuri even brought you something to say, you know? Sayori? Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. Come on. Sayori made it sound like a big deal when it's really not. What do I do? I'm sorry, Yuri, I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue this situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place. 20 nice gestures from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make it a big deal if you don't want it to be. Alright, well here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book that I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even if you don't usually read. Oh, and we could, discuss it if you wanted. Oh, this is too much. This is, how is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she thinks I'll like despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely be reading this. I enthusiastically take the book. Phew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expect Mana to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. This is too much for me. I can't do it anymore. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. Looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Ah. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me and our eyes meet for a split second. Oh, I hate that. ... But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. ... I was just spacing out. I'm out of the sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, ... It's fine. ... If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. But I'm just rereading a bit of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious, how come we have two copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, that's not what I meant. meant. I mean, it just happened to buy 2 of them. Ah, I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. Glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright. I just want to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically about this girl in high school moves in with her long lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationships, and her life starts to fall apart. It's kind of dark, isn't it? Yeah. Yuri made it sound like it was gonna be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Yuri gently giggles. All of a sudden, hey, not a fan of that sort of thing, Gustuk? No, it's not that. I mean, I can definitely join these kind of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri was into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kinds of stories, they challenge you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, because they have their own goals or their own philosophy. I didn't read that. And suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they're made out to be the naive one for letting their one-sided morals interfere with the villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then, but I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like book and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I ending up saying something strange. Please stop me if I start talking to him. I really don't think you need to worry. That just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well start reading it, right? You don't have to. What are you saying? Just a moment ago, you said you were looking forward to it. ... Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieve the book that I put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. Are you sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with something. MC. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I can feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing, maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. Looks like she's reading from my book instead. So sorry. Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do. I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here. This should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's and hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. It feels like my left arm is in the way, so I instead use my right hand to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under her thumb after it flips to her side. But in holding it like this, hold it even closer than before! It's actually kind of distracting me, as if I could feel the warmth of Yuri's face, and she's in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? To turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. That's okay. You're not as used to reading, right? I don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. What's happening? Oh, I'm getting bitches. As bitches, I mean Yuri. It's probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page for me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. I know. I want to read a book like that with someone. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she also second guesses all the things that she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything, but they're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yuri remains silent for a moment, but Goose Duck, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. It's so embarrassing that you think that. Wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. Let's hope this gameplay goes smoothly. Same. ... I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute. What are you saying? What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. Gasp. I guess time we share today's poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, spared from finishing her thought. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kinda down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book and causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright, I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Would you prefer it? I only read it with you. Oh, I guess I don't have much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little more today. It'll be fun to read it with you after it picks up a bit, you know? That's a good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first 2 chapters in your own time. Alright, I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah, my relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I've never really done this before. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share with? I can't wait! Sarah and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Series out on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Who should I show my poems to first? Yuri. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion to be fair. ... As Yuri reads the poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. What was that? ... Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, then ends up covering her own face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? You use some imaginary metaphors to indicate you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. It's actually my first time, really. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. It's because I have experience! Well, I know that. I just mean, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She says her finger along for words in the poem, break it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers, and having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most notable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they fit the two together. I think I'm gonna learn a bit here. The end result is that both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she sounds like an expert. course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it all comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I'm sure there was like a thing where I can get all 20 to point towards her, and she would say, "Oh, your writing is it's fucking nice." I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased though. Biased, huh? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry, it's fine. I'm not sure if he's apologizing to himself, to me, or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Okay. Ghost under the light. The tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow, bathing. It must be this one, the last remaining sheet light to have withstood the test of time, the last yet to be replaced by the sickening blue-green hue of the future. I bathe. Calm, breathing air of the present, but living in the past. The light flickers. I flicker back. I like that. ... I'm sorry, I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. I also like the poem. Even though it's short, it was very descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems, not at all. I'm really glad you like it. I'll be honest, since it's our first time sharing, I want to write something a little bit more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about ghosts at all, Goose Duck. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance over it all, after all. Remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experience into words. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon to be left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. Was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Goose Duck. Oh, really now? Me too. Who should I show my poem to next? Sayori. ... This is a good poem, Goose Duck. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. But that's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously, or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you just wrote one. It just reminds me of how you're really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the club room. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet. That doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Goose Duck. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something only really good people do. I would do the same thing, but instead of me not liking literature all that much in this game, I'm quite fond of it, because I am a writer. Thanks, Sayori. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. And again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah. I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. I am going to hold you to that then. Yay. Now you read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Okay. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me. Kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. I Are you asking me to come out and play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever. But I'm not mad. I want breakfast. Relatable! Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No, just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. At least that makes me feel a little bit better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say that it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast, even though you were late to school. It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. Next time I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. I guess I look forward to it. We'll go Natsuki. ... question mark? Gustuck, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. Wait, what? Harsh. What, you expect me to believe that you actually put effort into this? Do you think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put in effort. We all start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Get wrecked. Painful to think about? ... Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I'd tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I guess I gotta share mine now. Knowing you'll probably think it's stupid. Eagles can fly. Monkeys can climb. Crickets can leap. Horses can race. Owls can seek. Cheetahs can run. Eagles can fly. People can try. That's about it. Wow, short and sweet. I told you that you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I won't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. True. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't that the point of poems, for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. Helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into it than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, that I won't take that away from her. Okay. Monica! Hey buddy, Monica! Hi, Gustuck. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to break things up, Ote. Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off just going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Gustuck. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we'll all learn to get past soon. Lunch is in 10 minutes for me, so I'm most likely not come back on because I have math and PE right after. True. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Gustuck. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. Thank you, Monica. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put in some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full imaginary and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness, Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all the nuances. It can take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has at this point. I never really asked though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing, just keep exploring and learn by trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. That's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased toward their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help you find what suits you the most. So don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you, right? It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, do you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. Well, that's because I have to sound confident. That doesn't mean I always feel that way, you know? I see. Well, let's read it then. Hole in wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction? The spackle protrudes, a noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know. I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel, blind like a film left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retina is already scorched with a permanent copy of the meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep, stretching forever into everything, a hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in, I was looking out, and he on the other side was looking in. So what do you think? It's very free form, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. That's okay. That kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you can say that I have some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a little bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. I'm kind of nervous to talk about these stuff like that, but it's coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. That's a good fucking tip. I like that. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen on the same spot for too long, you'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for today. I love that. Thanks for listening. I love that. Phew. I guess that's everyone. I glanced around the room. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. It's as if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities. Even if they just being nice, there's no way my poem can stand up to theirs. This is the literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I end up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchanging sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you can say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. I mean, you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it, and Goose Duck did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, I appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing skill. I don't expect it to change anytime soon, unless of course I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Goose Duck liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Asuki suddenly stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what I... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Goose Duck appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. Huh? Now how do you know he appreciated my advice more? And are you that full of yourself? Nah, I love girls fighting over me. Oh. Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I wouldn't deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Oh, is everyone okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Goose Duck started showing up. Ah! What is this? Oh, no! Oh, shit! Oh, no! That doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting, guys. Suddenly, both girls turned towards me. If they just noticed I was standing there. Goose Duck. She's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point in making your poems all convoluted for no reason? Its meaning should jump out at the reader, not force them to have figure out. Help me explain to that to her, Goose Duck. But wait, there's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meanings that most effectively. Avoiding them is not only necessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Goose Duck? Well... How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whoever I agree with, they'll probably think more highly of me. So of course it's going to be... Yuri! Natsuki. You're right, that I liked your poem. See? Wait. That's not an excuse for you to be so mean. You shouldn't pick a fight just because someone's opinion is different. That's not what happened at all. Yuri wouldn't even take my poem seriously. I understand. Yuri? You're a seriously talented writer. It's no secret that I was impressed. Well, here's the thing. No matter how simple or refined someone's writing style is, they're still putting feelings into it and it becomes something really personal. That's why Natsuki felt threatened when he said her poem was cute. I see. I didn't notice that. I'm sorry. Natsuki took it way too far. Yuri means well, and if you just told her how you felt, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. Are you kidding? That's exactly what I did. It was her that... Natsuki, I think that's enough. You both said some things he didn't mean. Yuri apologized. Don't you think you should too? Natsuki clenches her fist. And yet nobody has taken her side. She's trapped at this point, being defiant only because she can't handle the pressure. I end up even feeling bad for her. Sometimes when I'm hurt, it helps to take a walk and clear my head. Sayori, she doesn't need to. You know what? I'm going to do that. It'll spare me from having to look at all your faces right now. Without warning, Natsuki snatches her own poem up from the desk and storms out. On her way out, she crumbles up the poem with her hands and throws it in the trash. Oh, Natsuki, she really didn't need to do that. Look across the room, Yuri has her chin buried in her hands while she stares down at her desk. I gingerly approach her and sit in an adjacent chair. Sigh. Everything alright? I'm so embarrassed. I can't believe I acted like that. Probably hate me now. No, Yuri. How could anyone not have gotten frustrated after being treated like that? You handled it as well as anyone could. I'm loving it so far. Handled it as well as anyone could. I don't think any less of you. Well, alright, I believe you. Thanks, Gustav. You're too kind. I'm thankful to have you a part of this club now. It's nothing. One more thing. that one thing that Suki said about, you know, I'll never do anything so shameful. So, what thing did Natsuki say? Well, never mind that. I'm going to go make some tea. Ah, good idea. Make enough for more than one person. Okay, yeah. Okay, everyone, it's just about time for us to leave. How did you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. Well, I'd say it was worth it. It was alright, well, mostly. Gustav, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. Maybe you learned something from your friends, too. So your poems will turn out even better! I think to myself, I did learn a little more about the kinds of poem that everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those who I want to impress. I nod to myself with newfound determination. Goose-Duck, ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have spent this much time together. Can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Woo! Sayori, about what happened earlier. What did you mean? You know, between Yuri and Natsuki. Does that kind of thing happen often? No. That's really the first time I've seen them fight like that. I promise they're both wonderful people. You don't hate them, do you? No, I don't hate them. I just wanted your opinion, that's all. I can see why they'd make good friends with you. Phew. You know, Gustav, it's nice that I got to spend time with you in the club. But I think seeing you getting on with everyone is what makes me the happiest. I think everyone really likes you too. That's... every day is going to be so much fun. Sigh. Looks like Sayori still hasn't caught on to the kind of situation I'm in. Yeah, sure, being friends with everyone is nice, but does it really need to stop there? But you know what does really need to stop here? We'll just have to see what the future holds, Sayori. I put Sayori on the shoulder. I said that more to myself than her, but it's easy to use Sayori as an internal monologue sometimes. Okay, yeah, let's do this.